In this video, we're going to sponge on some smart stains. Here we have a hot rolled steel cutout. Again, smart stains do not need to react with the metal, so we're just going to use a Scotch-Brite pad and the Sculpt Nouveau metal cleaner, get all the grease off, give it a tiny bit of a tooth, and we're just going to clean it up a little bit. Once we rinse it, we're going to heat it, and again, smart stains can be done hot or cold, but if you do them hot, you can move faster, so most of the time that's the route I go. Generally, you want to be about 100, 120 degrees Fahrenheit for the smart stains. Any hotter and it really just starts burning them a little bit. You get a little more texture than you want. So just try and be around 100, 120. Here we're going to go in with the copper smart stains, and we sped up the video just because it takes a little while to get all the coats on there. So I'm going for an overall coverage of copper smart stain, but I don't want it a smooth transition, so that's why we're sponging it on. We just want it to look really mottled when we're done, so we're going to model everything on. And we start with a full coat of copper, because then as we build up layer by layer, we don't have to try and get all the other layers to fill in those gaps. If we miss an area with the following colors, then we already have it covered because it's going to look like copper. Here we've got the red smart stain. Ultimately, we're going to go in with the copper smart stain, the red smart stain, the brown, yellow, and then I follow with a diluted brown as well near to the end, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Here we're going to go in with the brown, which is really good for muting things out, but that's why we need to bring that yellow in, is because it almost goes a little too mute. Yellow kind of kicks the flare back up a little bit, as you can see here. Smart stains can be used with a lot of different tools. Pretty much however you want to get it on the metal, it will go on the metal. You've seen us spray it, sponge it now, brush it. You can do a toothbrush, just flicking it on. You can really use pretty much any application tool you can think of. Microfibers, anything. So it just shows that texture that you put on there. So here I like to use the C sponges. They already kind of create a little bit of variation for you, so it makes your job a little bit easier. When you're sponging on the smart stains, I usually try and account for 2 coats. You can usually do it in 1 coat, but it's one of those things that the more coats you do, usually the more mottled you get, and it just overall looks a little bit better if you do 2 coats. You can usually go back and fix it in the areas that you're not totally happy with. So I just account for 2 coats, and I've been pretty happy with that so far. So here I'm going to go back in with the yellow, and the yellow sometimes is just a little overpowering, so that's when I come back with the diluted brown smart stain. I think it was about a 50-50 ratio with smart coat, and it did just enough to mute that down a little bit to where I was happy. So then we're just going to hit it with the satin clear, just so a little bit of the color pops out a little bit, and it should look out pretty good. And here we have our final cutout of our steel horse with sponged on smart stains. And remember, smart stains are all available at www.sculptnouveau.com.